Excuse me? What do you think you're doing? I have to move you. Hello princesses! Today we're going to be talking about the Mamonde Blossoming High Cover Cushion Perfect Liquid. So let's first address the obvious. I'm not inside. I'm not even in the same city as where I normally am. I am in Gisborne at the moment at my parents' house. I am on holiday because it is the school holidays, and I'm pretty sure I talked about this when I'm doing my makeup, so I'm not going to talk about it very much more. But obviously I'm outside. The lighting is shocking because I'm underneath trees, so I'm a bit mottly, and yeah, the application wasn't that great, I can tell you that already. Also, this is my parents' dog. This is my brother? Yeah, this is my brother Jed. Jed, hi! He is a purebred Weimaraner, and he is pain in my booty at the moment because he just keeps running around. There's a cat around here as well, my darling Leo, who I think has stopped trying to jump on my lap now and annoy me, but you will see them running around in the video quite a lot, I'm sure, because they're just too curious. Now, the reason that I'm filming in Gisborne is because this is part of the Tester Korea Beauty Tester program, and it means that if you have seen these other products with other promoters and they haven't said that they're from Tester Korea, they're all from Tester Korea. None of us were paid to create this content. We did, however, have only 7 days from when we received the product to create it. Now, this is moderately problematic because 7 days is not enough to get the product, try it, actually film and review, and give an accurate representation of what the product does to your skin. The cushion is not as problematic as some of the other products, which require more testing than others, but I would just like to point out that we only had 7 days to create this content. I don't think that that's very good at all, and yeah, Tester Korea, ugh. I must not have read the thing properly because I'm sure I didn't say 7 days when I signed up for this, because that is just too little time. So I signed up for this at the very start of September, and they were supposed to get to my house in Hamilton before I left, like a week before I left, the last week of school, but Tester Korea delayed the shipment for a week. So that is why they ended up having to come to me here in Gisborne, because once you receive the product you only have 7 days. So if it went to my house in Hamilton, I would have received the product. Yeah, and I wouldn't have been there because I'm in Gisborne on holiday. So I'm also required to talk a little bit about Tester Korea in this video, so I'll get it done nice and quickly. You guys know that I've shopped with Tester Korea for quite some time, and I have also had some issues with Tester Korea, which I have not made a secret and definitely have made a video about it. So if you'd like to hear my thoughts about Tester Korea, you can find my video in my channel, or I'll leave a link down below, and you can see why I don't always shop with Tester Korea. This time, even though I wasn't purchasing anything, unfortunately it was no different. My shipment, like I said, was delayed by 1 week, which made my life difficult, and that's pretty much my problem. However, of course, there are good things about shopping with Tester Korea. They do have a lot of selection on their website, which I think is one of the best things, and if I can't find products on a lot of other websites, I usually can find them on Tester Korea quite easily, which is definitely a plus. They also do send samples out with their orders, which again, great, we love that. We have like a little review guide which tells us what we should be talking about, and apparently this one has a good response in Korea. I don't really know what a good response is, but they'd like me to say that, so the Mamonde cushion has a good response in Korea. Ticking that off the list. Getting things done. This product was sent to me for review by Tester Korea as part of their beauty tester program. Of course, this does not mean that I'm going to speak only positively about the product, and it doesn't stop me from giving my own honest opinion, as I always do. So the product description for the Mamonde cushion says, keep liquid foundation fresh anywhere, anytime. Cushion for the smoothest, most perfect looking skin. So this cushion has plain but functional packaging. I'm sorry, that was my cat. It pretty much looks like any other cushion, and it just has a little beige outer with Mamonde on the front. On the inside there is a mirror and the cushion itself. It does come with a cushion puff which is shaped kind of more like a teardrop shape, which is a little bit unusual but actually really helpful for getting into like around your eyes and around your nose as well. To operate it, you actually need to press down the outsides, and this will actually squeeze some of the product itself out. If you actually just use the cushion puff to press down, it doesn't really do the best job, to be honest. Although the thing that annoys me a little bit about the packaging of this one is you can see that the cushion is just leaking out onto the case. There's no way to stop it doing that because the mesh is actually so high in the cushion itself. It's a little bit annoying, but I'm just gonna like take that stuff off with my cushion first. The sun is just creeping further and further in. It's so annoying. So I'm going to start with this side of my face. So if you're wondering where I am at the moment, I am at my parents' house in Gisborne. I'm here on holiday for a week because it's the school holidays in New Zealand, and as a teacher that means that I'm not teaching. Because of the teaching that I do, I'm a music teacher. I don't get paid during the holidays, I only get paid for the hours that I do, but the good thing about that is that I don't really do any of the planning that other teachers have to do. So because my lessons are all like individual lessons, I don't have lesson plans and I don't have like prep work to do generally. It's a pretty sweet gig in that aspect, but not for the aspect that I actually don't get paid in the holidays. So it's a little bit dumb, but it just requires budgeting, which I am actually very good at. So this is one half of my face done. So this is this half with the foundation on and with it off. And I'm just going to pick the camera up and move myself rather than move my whole chair and set up because I'm pretty sure you can't see anything. Okay, I don't know if this is much better, but this is the side that has foundation on and without. And now my chair has been stolen by the cat. So I thought I'd show you a close-up while I'm in the shade as well because the overexposure is killing me. This is what it looks like on my skin and without. Okay, so it's better but not great. We're just like creeping closer and closer back to the trees. I'm going to do the other side of my face now because I didn't say anything about the cushion when I was just chatting then. So I have the shade 13, which is actually quite a nice light shade. It is slightly too peachy. This kind of happens in most aspects. If it's not pink, it's usually peach. It's almost never like a beautiful yellow color because I guess a lot of people just aren't yellow, but I am, which is a shame. But this has a very thin consistency. It's moderately easy to apply to the skin, but it's not that easy. The reason being is that it dries down quite quickly, which is nice, and it has a semi-matte finish. So it's not super shiny on the skin, and it's really great for pores because you can't see your pores that much, which I am obviously quite grateful for because I don't want to see my pores, I want to hide them. But it does make it a little bit hard to blend and to layer up. It also sticks to the dry patches on my skin like absolutely nobody's business. And because I've been using a cream that is not super moisturising, which is the AT Fox T-Top Water Cream, which also came for this review set, yeah, that hasn't been helping because it's not that moisturising. So because I don't have all of my beauty stuff with me, also the other thing about being in Gisborne, don't have everything, I would instead just either put a really moisturising cream underneath this base or a moisturising primer to fix that. So I'm just using the little teardrop to fix up any spaces. My mustache is coming back in full force. Great! So for me the worst parts are around my mouth and around my eyes. These are the driest parts of my face personally, and because like I said, this is a mattifying sort of finish, not super matte, but obviously if you can look at my skin even in the sunlight, it's not super dewy. It does emphasize dry texture. Of course it is a high cover cushion perfect liquid, so I'm not surprised that it actually makes my skin look pretty perfect. Like, I'm pretty impressed with the coverage of this cushion. So this is what my skin looks like at the moment. I apologize for the random view. My chair is sinking into the ground. Sorry. I don't know what I can do about that. But I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, film the intro for this, and then I'm going to show you guys around Gisborne and what we have to offer. I've moved myself back again for the 4th time, so I think you can see the foundation a little bit more clearly. Yes, that's still the dog. Jed, what you doing? But I was going to show you guys this lipstick anyway. So this is the Face Shop Gelato tint. I have the shade number 1, which is cheese beige, and I'm not going to be doing a review on these ones at the moment because I'm getting the other colors, which I think is actually better. But I'm going to show you guys what it looks like at the moment because I'm not the biggest fan of the color. So to use it, you just take the little gelato top off. Ah, so cute. It smells delightful. It smells like coconut, which is bizarre because it should be cheese beige, but whatever. This is supposed to be like a really pretty like coral color, so it's supposed to be like orange with a bit of pink, but for me it just looks straight up orange. My luck. Easy as pie. So yeah, on camera it still also just looks orange. So this is supposed to be a coral color. It totally isn't, but the formula is actually really, really lovely. It reminds me almost entirely of the Stem Mousse Candy Tints. It's that same thick moussey texture that makes my lips feel so lovely and moisturized. They don't feel dry throughout the day, and it does wear quite nicely as well, as long as you're not eating and drinking. So I'm going to go ahead and film the intro and everything now that I have my full face on, and I'll show you around my house and around Gisborne in a little bit. So this is my cat son Leo. Hello. He is ancient. So he is a purebred Burmese with, he is a seal point, I think, yeah. So he's got little darker feet and darker ears. He is almost 14, so he is super, super old. He's got like no teeth left. Hey, that still is a gorgeous little man, and he's so snuggly, which is why he's on my lap after I was finishing my thumbnails, because he just would not leave me alone. If I scratch his bum, he'll like lick himself. It's fantastic. Look at him. He is awful to see when the contrast is low because he just looks like a dark blob. This is Jed. Jed, come on. He is a purebred Weimaraner. He is my parents' dog, so he is my brother. He is, I think, 7 at the moment. Hey, he's beautiful, but he's really big, aren't you? And this is my backyard. That's part of my house. Some felled trees. That's a tripod. So you have quite a big property, and we have a lot of native birds, so you might be able to hear like the birds. Everything is super green, super nice. There's my old car in the background as well. But if you listen, you can hear some of the native birds around. As well as chainsaws apparently today. So my base has been on for 7 hours now, and this is what it's looking like. There is very little shine around my T-zone and my forehead, which is really, really good, but the makeup is breaking up a bit around my nose and my chin. So I have had my glasses on today, which means that there is some substantial smudging around my nose, but also on the top of my nose you can see that there is a little bit of foundation that has come off entirely, which is unusual. You can also see where my glasses sit. So there are the little lines here where it is kind of started to rub off. You can see pretty bad cracking around my mouth as well. So where everything is starting to settle into some of the fine lines, it doesn't look quite as good. And the same strangely on my forehead. I feel like I may not have blended that one in as well as I should have, because it doesn't look super good. But from a distance my skin looks really nice. It's quite flawless, and I think that the colour actually doesn't look too bad at all. Just a little bit too peachy. My lipstick, however, did not survive lunch. It's pretty much smudged off entirely, but it has left like a slightly like peachy tint to the lips, so it's not bad. It doesn't look terrible, and I haven't reapplied it at all. Okay, so this is what my makeup looks like after 9 hours. There is a little bit of shine in the T-zone, and of course where my nose grips have been is not looking super great. That kind of just happens though, but there is some missing off the top of my nose too, which is a bit bizarre. And now that it's past the 7 hours mark, I can see a bit more oil and shine, although it's actually pretty good. It has stayed on successfully on the other parts of my face, but it does look a little bit dry and it looks very makeup-y, especially in the areas around my mouth. So when I stretch my chin out like this, you can see it a lot. But overall, I think it is a really nice cushion. It provides really good high coverage in comparison to most other cushions on the market, which I'm very surprised at. But it's not necessarily a cushion that I would recommend for very dry skin or textured skin because it is going to make that more apparent. I think that if you use it with a more moisturising base and if you used a sponge that was damp, so like a beauty blender, you might have a bit of a better time if you have drier or textured skin because it's not going to be as obvious, but I think that would also share out the coverage a little bit. But it's definitely one of the most full coverage cushions that I have tried. Also, the colour isn't too bad, honestly. It's a little bit peachy, but what isn't really? So I would definitely recommend this Mamonde cushion if you're looking for a high coverage cushion foundation. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of Gisborne, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!